When I say I have a squishy middle, it's real squishy.
Hello and welcome to the Euro What, episode 156 for the week of May 9th, 2022. It's Eurovision week! I'm Mike McComb, and I'm joined today by Ben Smith. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Mike.
We are a pair of Americans trying to make sense of the Eurovision Song Contest. We'll be talking about our picks for this week's two semifinals. How's it going, Ben?
It's a beautiful day here at Euro What HQ. The weather is nice. Eurovision is here.
Spring is in the air.
Spring is in the air, and so is all of the pollen. So that's why I'm very happy to be inside.
That just reminded me that I needed to pack allergy meds for Italy, which is where I'm at now, technically. We are recording this on May 1st due to travel reasons and all that fun stuff. So really looking forward to hearing what your picks are for this, because my selection process was confusing and weird, and I'm still not confident in my choices.
Same. Like I have run the online selector thingy where you just rank all the things like at least 20 times over the course like the last month, and probably at least 5 over the course of this last weekend, to just be like, okay, but like what if I analyze it on this vector, and then midway through that selection process will be like, well, am I really objectively picking which one I think will do better or just the one I like?
That's always tricky. Maybe we should go through like what this week is going to look like. There's a lot happening this week.
Yes. Yeah, the fun games have already started. Yes.
So we've got the rehearsals that have already happened. As we record this, it's all the way through the first semifinal, right? I have not been in the press center.
Yes, I have. So. Yes, I can fill in on that. I have been in the online press center. We have been through all of semifinal 1's rehearsals. Semifinal 2's first rehearsals will start tomorrow, although we are not getting to see anything, which I kind of love. That first rehearsal should just be kind of sacred for the delegations, in my opinion. Like, they should get time to explore the stage and see how things are feeling before we get to see anything. They've been putting a quick TikTok update for each of the artists out this year, and it has like maybe 5 seconds of actual shots of the stage. It's just like, here's them in the warm-up room, here's them walking off stage after their first rehearsal. And like, it's all I need, really. I'm
not spoiler phobic in any sort of way, but I'm trying to keep my distance from this because I will be in the audience. I would like to be surprised on some of these things.
Yes, and like that's why I've been trying to keep as quiet as possible so that I'm not spoiling you on anything.
This week in particular is just the most useless week in social media, where it's just like you have May 1st and May 4th and Cinco de Mayo. It's just like, it's just a nightmare. And having Eurovision on top of that, it's like, I might just take Twitter off my phone for the next couple of days.
It's like a fun social media break.
As for this coming week, as this episode drops, Monday the 9th is the jury semifinal for the first semifinal. So the jury will be watching the performances. It's a dress rehearsal for the performers, and they will be getting scored on those performances. Tuesday on the 10th is the live TV semifinal, and 10 songs will advance from the field of 17. Wednesday will be the jury semifinal for the second semifinal, and Thursday will be the live TV semifinal for that. 10 more songs will advance, and yeah, it gets right into grand final action. Friday will be the jury final, and then Saturday is the big show. It's going to be a pretty packed week.
It is still surprising me that it's here.
Same. Yeah, I'm sure there will be plenty of surprises, lots of angst, lots of all of the fun emotions that come with every Eurovision season.
Yeah, and like we are going to have a lot of other fun things happening. If you are doing Fantaeurovision, great news, we are too. We have our little league, and our league ID is capital S, lowercase DTM, capital B, lowercase W.
And we will have this in the show notes, so you do not have to have this memorized. We also have like all of our social media stuff. Our Patreon is still going. Granted, all of that content is focused on the American Song Contest right now. That is definitely taking a backseat this week.
Yes.
Yeah. And then on Instagram, I'll have photos at EuroWhat from the performances, Eurovision stuff around and about in Turin. It should be a lot of fun. And then Twitter, of course, we're always tweeting.
We're always on Twitter. I guess most exciting, like, you're going to be at the Torino shows for the jury shows.
Yes. Very excited about that. So yeah, if you see me, say hi. I will be wearing some EuroWhat branded t-shirts, testing out potential merch. Even though we are recording this amid rehearsals, I feel confident enough to make picks on what I think is going to advance, even though rehearsals can change things, especially once we see what staging is like for some of the entries where we were just like, ooh, staging is going to be really important for this one. But how do you feel about the overall pick process?
I feel like I just keep running myself through the simulator. I would liken it to a panic cotta right now, in that things are mostly stable but still kind of wobbly in the middle.
I think that's fair. We'll get into it with the second semifinal, but there was a lot of, a lot of deep conversations with myself on what I was choosing. So
yes, that one in particular, I feel very unconfident about. Like semifinal 1, I feel like I've got a decent handle there. Semifinal 2, anything can happen.
In previous years, we had a kind of complicated math thing taking into account like YouTube viewer percentages in relation to likes and dislikes, and throwing in the odds and like various other factors. And that's just not working this year, just because like YouTube has changed how likes work, and the odds are kind of weird given global events that are happening. So we're just kind of approaching this as like just taking stock of ourselves, trying to be as objective as possible in what we think is going to advance from each semifinal. We have not yet shared what our respective top 10s are yet. So, could be in for a major surprise. We're going to assume that the ones that we both have on our lists are going to be part of our official selection, but there may not be 100% overlap. So we're going to talk through and come up with a consensus on the ones that we don't necessarily agree on. So, yeah, shall we dive in?
Yes, this is the time of year that I'm always just gloriously happy to be incorrect. So with both of the semifinals, what I ended up doing over on my spreadsheet was running one of the pickers a couple of times just to get some numbers there. And then at the last second, and by last second, I literally mean like 15 minutes before we started taping, was like, let's take a look at what the odds look like for who they think is going to qualify and throw that in and see how that shakes things up. And overall, I think I'm happy. And like from there, I just sort of colored things in green, yellow, or red based on whether I thought they were sort of a lock, kind of on the bubble, and sort of solidly not qualifying.
That sounds like a solid plan. Yeah, my process was much more gut feeling than taking odds into consideration. Like, I'm always saying, don't listen to the bookkeepers. But this year in particular, it's just like, it's like that really feels like a less useful data point. So I was listening to the playlist for each semifinal and working through my grid of comparing 2 songs at a time and being like, okay, which one do I think is more likely to qualify? And sometimes it comes down to like, well, I think the jury is going to give this one enough of a boost, or I think the audience televote is really going to push this one over, trying to take my own preferences out of it. Although looking at my list now, I don't know if I was successful, but
I was trying to do that too. And then like midway through, like had to restart because I'm like, okay, but like, I feel like I've started out there. And now as we've drifted into the middle of this, have just gone into, but have started like really putting my own thumb on the scale. So like as long as I'm doing that, just lean into that.
I think I did a better job with the second semifinal on keeping it neutral-ish. First semifinal, maybe not. So I guess should we share our picks?
All right. So again, I have things green, yellow, and red. So the things that I feel like are locks to get through on semifinal 1: Ukraine, Norway, Greece, Armenia, Latvia, Albania, and Iceland. And then in like the squishy middle portion where like I ultimately need to pick 3 of these: Austria, Netherlands, Portugal, Moldova, Lithuania, and Slovenia. So just like a big squishy middle of like only 3 of those things can come. But like I'm feeling like Croatia is out. Switzerland, the bookies have it in qualification. I don't. Denmark and Bulgaria. And I look forward to being wrong on one of those 4 probably. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to say Austria, Portugal, Moldova getting through.
In alphabetical order, just so it's not tipping my hand just yet, I have Albania, Armenia, Greece, Iceland, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Netherlands, Norway, and Ukraine. So the ones that we agree on right now are Ukraine, Norway, Greece, Armenia, Latvia, Albania, Iceland, and Moldova. I think I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so the ones where we're diverging are Austria, Portugal, Lithuania, and
Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah, just like all things that are like highlighted in yellow in my middle portion where like I fully have arguments for why those could go through too. And I think it like for most of these, it all just comes down to staging. Like if I had to like split second change one of my picks again, I'd probably swap Austria and Netherlands. When I say I have a squishy middle, it's real squishy.
I'm surprised that Netherlands didn't make your list. I feel like that one has a lot of fan support behind it. And the Netherlands has demonstrated recently that they know how to stage.
Like, I would say that one is probably my number 11. Like, it's really, really close.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that one was my number 3. So, okay. Slight difference of opinion there.
Yeah, well, like, I like the song, but I think just in comparison to other things, like, I feel like I said earlier when we were reviewing these things that I'm always surprised at how low it ends up on my list because I like it. And I think if it has like a really, really striking staging, it's going to stick with people. I think my rationale in the moment for picking Austria is that Austria is just sort of a bolt of lightning and an extra jolt of sugar in the back half of the lineup, where we have a lot of sort of similarly tempoed things, similarly styled things, and then Austria pops up out of nowhere and sort of gets the party going again.
I don't know. I kind of see it as like a trucker on a cross-country haul, like shotgunning a 5-hour energy drink or something. And it's just like, I still would rather they not be on the road, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, like that one, I think if the staging needs to be dynamic somehow, and I have no clue what they have planned to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Austria, like it feels like such a Marmite entry. Like I don't think you're going to have people be like giving it like a considered, like, oh yeah, that one I should throw a point to. Like, it's just like they either are going to love it or they're going to hate it. And I don't think the vocal is going to be pleasant. And I don't mean that as a criticism of Pia Maria's voice or anything like that. Like, it is not a melodic song. Like, it is just, I just do not find it pleasant to listen to. And just given the track record of DJs at Eurovision, like I really, I don't see this changing that course. Okay. And yeah, like Austria was my number 14.
Okay, cool. I feel like you are successfully talking me out of this one being in our collective top 10.
Okay. So I will put a little crossy mark
yes.
in that one.
Okay, let's see. So you didn't have Portugal on your list.
I did not, but it was my number 11 and it was tied with Armenia. So it came down to tiebreaker for that one not making the cut. So I am definitely open to arguments there. Where did Armenia fall for you?
Armenia is 4th for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like that song has snuck up. Is like and that's with me sort of like throwing in the odds at the end where like that one has kind of snuck up on me because like I find that one really catchy and it sticks with me. It got the end of the night slot, which makes me think that they must have something cooked up for the staging.
Yeah. So, because like you really don't want to have an insignificant come down from what Norway is going to offer.
From Subwoofer, yeah.
And she really did hold her own at the Madrid pre-party. And she was right after Subwoofer at that event, too, which I thought was really nice of the organizers to do that. Because it's like, yeah, I think whoever was going to follow that act deserves a little bit of extra practice time to see how to work with an audience that has just gone through a completely different experience before you go on stage. So, and yeah, I think she held her own there.
The reason that I said Portugal in the moment is that Portugal is very good at creating a vibe in the room for 3 minutes. And like, I feel like there's something just really nice about Maro's entry. And I feel like they have a lot of room for like a really beautiful staging of this.
I would agree with that. Yeah. What about Lithuania? Where did Lithuania fall on your list?
Lithuania, like in the actual ranking I had, they were 12th.
Okay.
So like they were like just outside of it. And like every time I've done a ranking, they've sort of been in like 12th or 11th or 10th or like just right at the cutoff mark. And I like the song. I find Monica Liu just a beam of light. She was great in the Q&A. She's she's adorable, and like she's got like a real sense of stage presence and who she is as a performer. But I could see that song maybe slipping out of people's minds just because it's early in the running order.
That 3 slot is so tricky because it can either be something that is completely forgotten, like Czech Republic was last year, or it could be something absolutely amazing like Russian Woman was last year. She's number 5 for me, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is one of the ones where it's just my own love of that song that is inflating its position on my list. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8. And the 3 that we're debating between are Portugal, Netherlands, and Lithuania.
Yeah.
How do we break this?
Yeah, because I feel like you've completely convinced me on the Netherlands side. I'm happy to get them in there. And then now we just need to figure out
Portugal or Lithuania.
Portugal or Lithuania, yeah.
And where was Portugal on your list?
Portugal is 10th on my list.
Okay. And she was technically 10th on mine as well. Yeah, this is good audio.
Well, and just some of the discussions we've had about positioning is like, I feel like everybody makes a big deal about the 2 slot, but like, I feel like CD Zani is bringing just like a lot of energy, and I feel like they're going to be bright and loud and colorful in a way that will be hard to forget. And specifically, I think that will like, that song breaks itself down really well into like the 15-second snippet they showed during the voting recap.
Right. Yeah, I just can't pull the trigger on Portugal. Like,
okay.
It's because it's like, I feel like it has a really bad position in the running order. Like it is starting off that streak of very slowed down guitar.
True. Yes. I get where you're going with that. I think you may have convinced me again to go for Lithuania over Portugal, because again, they were real close on my end.
Yeah. Okay. So taking in Netherlands and Lithuania.
Yes.
I think we're good. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
All right.
Gavel, gavel, gavel. We have achieved quorum.
Okay. So our list, not in alphabetical order, because this is how I wrote it down. Ukraine, Norway, Greece, Armenia, Latvia, Albania, Iceland, Moldova, Netherlands, Lithuania.
Okay.
Strong concerns, major objections?
No major objections, although I would love to briefly talk about, for the ones that we have agreed are not going through, if there's any reason that you feel like they're like...
Why
like,
not?
Why not?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, so what was your number 17?
My number 17 is Bulgaria, and like I do not actually expect that one to be on the bottom on the night.
Yeah, I had Bulgaria at 13.
Yeah, like that one has weirdly been going up the list for me.
Part of that may just be the BNT Twitter accounts influence, where it's just like, okay, like there's a tremendous amount of bias there, but it's like, maybe I should buy into this hype a little bit. But in our conversation with Meredith, where we were talking about this entry, and she had brought up that there is a portion of Eastern Europe that is really into that style of rock.
That feels
like,
very seen by this song.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I think they will have some presence on the scoreboard, but like, not a lot of 12s, but probably something in like a lot of 2s and 3s, but not enough to actually boost them into the top 10.
But enough to showcase themselves respectfully.
Yeah, my 17 was Switzerland.
Oh, good. Yeah, like, no, that is like my 15, and honestly, I almost put it lower just because of the whole NFT thing.
Yeah, what is going on with that?
Okay, so Marius Bear and also Sheldon Riley had announced that they were doing some sort of NFT. Like there have been multiple NFT projects with songs where both of them have now, I think, at one point or another, claimed to be the first Eurovision entry that you can purchase as an NFT.
Okay.
And I think technically, if both of them were released, Sheldon would have beaten Marius to the pike. In my opinion, NFT stands for something different. I can't say the F part on air, but I can say that the N and the T are for no thanks.
Yeah.
They're horrible for the environment. But yeah, just like those two entries have apparently talked to the wrong people who were like, no, this is a great thing. This people can get on the ground floor. It's like, no. Oh, this is from 2 weeks ago, although the post has been edited. Sound Picker, pre-sale for the NFT, for our NFT of Boys Do Cry just started, and there are already a few gone. The official sale begins. DM me for information or get it straight from here. And just like, nothing has warmed my heart more this Eurovision season than everybody just being real anti-NFT.
Right. I mean, like, I know that buying NFTs, you're really not buying anything, but what is it that they're even selling? Like I don't even think they're selling a receipt. Or
Oh yeah, I don't think that anybody really knows what the point of this is. Just that these are a hot item and you can get one.
Okay.
There's just like a whole level of crypto things that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's get into the second semifinal. And, this one is going to be a wild ride. So,
yes.
I feel less than confident, on my choices, but, here is my prediction for the 10 that will go through. Not necessarily my top 10, but these are the 10 that will go through. I have, in alphabetical order, Australia, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Finland, Ireland, Montenegro, Poland, Romania, Serbia, and Sweden. Is there any overlap with your list?
We're going to find out. Yeah, because this one I feel like was the wobbliest part for me. Is like I had so much of this in my color coordinating in like yellow for a very long time. And then like did the numbers. And even though things should be green or yellow, no, like this is too much of my own preference going in here. This is definitely going through. This is definitely not going through. The ones that I feel are confidently going through: Sweden, Serbia, Czech Republic, Belgium, Malta, Montenegro, and Finland. And then in like my wobbly middle section, Australia, Poland, Ireland, and Estonia are all kind of in the mix. If pushed to choose things, I need to choose 3 of them. I'm going to say Australia, Ireland, and Estonia.
Enough overlap so that we're not completely creating a new list. Yeah, okay. So the ones that we agree on are Australia, Belgium, Finland, Ireland, Montenegro, Serbia, and Sweden. I feel good about those choices.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the ones where we are differing, we've got Azerbaijan, Poland, Romania, Czech Republic, and Estonia. So we need 3 of those 5. How do we do this?
How do we do this? Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess I can tell you what my problem was. The way that my grid system works out is after you enter in all of your selections, you hit prioritize, and then it'll shoot out a list of like everything prioritized. And if there's a tie, you can click on that output and then choose between the ones that are involved in the tie. There were 4 3-way ties in my list. There was a 3-way tie for 3rd, a 3-way tie for 8th, a 3-way tie for 11th, and a 3-way tie for last.
When I tell you the number of 3-way ties I had, 3, and in one case, I think a 4-way tie I had in trying to get to what I got to, because I think I'm also just doing a prioritization grid just in a different way.
Okay, yeah. Like mine is like fully laid out. I think the one that you're doing, it's just like you're choosing like each one individually. And it really just comes down to visual interface, but the problem persists. Like, oh man, these are
It's like, how do I separate these out?
Yeah, so and looking, like I also wrote down all of my results like based on their ties, and Estonia, Czech Republic, and Cyprus were in that 3-way tie for 11th. So I think I'm open to agreeing with you on Estonia and Czech Republic, just because like those were in contention, like they are right at the cutoff.
Yeah, Estonia, like that one was literally a last minute me looking at my list of what's sort of kind of on the bubble and going, do I particularly care for the song? No, but it has a bland appeal that I think will hit many people.
And you didn't have Poland on your list, right?
I did not have Poland, like, although that's one of the ones where, again, like, I have an ordered list of how things spit out of the chooser, and then, like, I was putting things in green, yellow, and red, and sometimes the stuff that I have, like Poland is definitely on the bubble for me. I could see that one also getting through, and could definitely be convinced that one's going through. The one that's confusing me is Azerbaijan. How do you have Azerbaijan going through?
I had it in 8th, so it was part of that 3-way tie, so it could have just as easily been in 10th in that grouping. Azerbaijan is very good at pulling rabbits out of hats, and it has the same person doing the staging that has done their last couple of stagings. And yeah, that they've really been able to make some silk purses.
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to say they have turned some sow's ears into silk purses. So.
Yeah, so...
Okay. That song is just like such a nothing for me, though.
I mean, like if it was a choice between Azerbaijan and Poland, like Poland is my number 5.
Okay. Yeah, because like on my list, I have Azerbaijan at 16th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm willing to take Azerbaijan out of the conversation. I hear your critiques. I think back to our discussion about Azerbaijan where it's just like, yeah, are they really doing anything new? And I don't think so.
I think if they had sent this song like a few years ago, we'd be having a different discussion. But like this one, I think that there is enough off the wall stuff in this semifinal that one is going to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. And it is in that 4th spot.
They need to remain memorable for 14. No.
Yeah.
For like 14 other things that are going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's take Azerbaijan off the table. Okay. So Poland, Romania, Czech Republic, and Estonia. Where did Romania fall for you?
Directly below Azerbaijan.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's like that one that one is purely my own, like that one that's another one that has done particularly nothing for me. And then we know that the bookies like kind of don't know what they're doing, but the bookies also currently have this one in 12th on their list of what they think is going to qualify. It got a boost from that.
Honestly, I'm surprised it was that high with the bookies. I really like this one, but I do kind of feel like I'm one of the only cheerleaders for this song. So yeah, I'm fine with taking Romania out. And yeah, I'm hoping we're wrong, taking it out, but, yeah, for this exercise, I am fine with removing that one. Okay. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that does leave us with 10. So, okay. That would be Poland, Czech Republic, and Estonia. And yeah, like those are all like Estonia and Czech Republic were in that bubble tie. And I mean, if you're okay with Poland,
I see a path for Poland going through. I think that one was when I did my ranking and like threw in the bookies at the end. That one was actually 10th in my rankings. And then the bookies have it at number 2.
Yeah. Like the bookies are really bullish on this one. It's kind of giving me the same vibes that Austria in 2018, where it's just like out of nowhere. It's like, really? This is the jury winner? 3rd overall? Okay. I don't think it's going to be 3rd overall.
No.
When all is said and done. But I think this is hitting all of the technical marks that the jury would be looking for. And it's not my cup of tea, but people seem to like it. So, yeah, like I think there's more than enough support to get it over the hump to make it to Saturday.
Yeah, and like one that's actually in my top 10 that I didn't list here just because like I have a gut feeling about it is like Cyprus I technically have at 9th.
Oh, okay.
And like that one surprised me but like this semifinal is wild.
It's so wild.
So wild. And like every time I do a ranking, that's one of the ones that's constantly in a new spot.
What were your top 3?
My top 3 were Sweden, Serbia, and then Czech Republic. And like that one, I tried to temper as hard as possible just because the live performances have been a little shaky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that song. Like that one is in 3rd purely because I like that song a lot.
Huh. Okay. Like I was surprised by what, like I had Sweden in number 1. I had Serbia in number 3. I have Montenegro in number 2. And I was shocked by that outcome.
That one was 5th in mine.
Okay. Yeah. And like, I'm not like particularly bullish on the song, but it's just like, no, I think this is going to do a lot of, like, I think the jury's really going to respond to this one. And I don't think it has to have an elaborate staging. Like, I think if she has an awesome outfit, which I am expecting her to have.
I've seen her at the pre-party. She's going to have a great outfit.
Yeah. I mean, this could be like what Proud did in 2019. And yeah, I mean, I think Montenegro could be a sleeper hit here.
Yeah, it could be one to watch.
Yeah. So, okay. Man, this is wild. Yeah. So
let's see. Did you have Malta in yours? I was trying to keep track.
I'm shocked that it was in yours.
I am also like that one was a surprise to me as well. That one snuck in there where because I feel like every time it came up in my little ranker, I was like, I guess, and apparently I guessed enough for it to make it into the top 10 because again, semifinal is wild. I don't particularly like it. It's beige wallpaper.
Yeah, like, it is my number 17. It is actually behind Israel's I Am. So.
Oh yeah. When it came, like, I joked this morning about seeing I Am and I Am What I Am next to it. I'm like, these are the same picture. And personally, I don't think it should go through. And yet it keeps showing up in the portion of my rankings where it goes through.
Wow.
And like, that's how I feel like it's going to be with a lot of people, is like, that one's going to be like, really? That one? Like, I would love to be wrong about that one. But it is somehow green on my spreadsheet.
I know we say don't listen to the bookkeepers, but Ben, maybe you should consider making a bet on this. But
it's 11th with the bookkeepers. The bookkeepers have it just out of contention for qualifying. Yes.
Oh, man.
They have also heard the song.
What is happening?
Yeah. Where I'm just like, I would like, that's just like the weird gut thing is like, I don't think it should go through, but I also think it's going through.
Yeah. What was your number 18?
With the bookies, or just like in my heart of hearts, what was my number 18?
In your heart of hearts.
Romania. It was going back and forth between Romania and North Macedonia. That was another one where like, I get what this is doing, but it's like one note.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like Romania is number 9 for me, and like I'm sure that is just my own preference kicking in. So it's like, all right, that's fine. I'm like, this is how our rankings get broken every year.
There are 2 people at this podcast.
Yeah, my number 18 was Georgia, which. Yeah, like unless they are going to pull something out of the hat during rehearsals and be a complete surprise, I don't see how that one's going to work.
Georgia is like somehow always like 12th or 13th.
Oh, really?
I don't trust this group because like I feel like every time that we see a press release in the group, like, it's going to be crazy. Have you seen that meme where it's someone in the freezer section of the grocery store with like a bag of chips on their head making a face, and like the caption's like, she's so crazy, love her. Like, that's what I feel like we're getting from Georgia. I have been half tempted to like make a Photoshop of just like the members of Circus Mercus with the bag of chips on their head. Like, they keep promising us, oh man, we're out there, and like we get to what out there is for them. It's like, oh, so you're just going to do like a fun camera thing?
Mm-hmm. And
I don't think it's going to be enough. The one course correction I made on this, where like, even though in the numbers it came out as not qualifying, but I'm like, no. Finland is absolutely qualifying.
Oh yeah. I have them as number 6 right now, and even that feels kind of low.
They're 4th with the bookies right now.
Okay,
and like that I'm like, yes. Like, they are not my personal cup of tea. And like, when I tried to do a ranking where I was taking into account, okay, what is, despite my own personal taste, going to make it through, they did end up in 9th in like one set of rankings I had.
Okay.
Where I'm like, okay, cool. They're in the green, and like, I think they should probably be higher because, again, they're going to qualify.
Like, it was pretty much like an 8-way tie for everything below 10.
I'm like, Sweden's getting through, and then just a lot of yellow.
Sweden, Serbia, and Montenegro are the ones I am most confident about. And end of list. So
Serbia, Finland, and then just a big shrug emoticon.
Okay, let's look at our full list. We've got Australia, Belgium, Finland, Ireland, Montenegro, Poland, Serbia, Sweden, Czech Republic, and Estonia.
Okay.
Are we good with that list?
I'm good with that list.
Huh. This is not how I expected this year to shake out.
No.
Of course, given our track record with these,
like our track record, like, we typically get somewhere between 6 and 8 correct.
Yeah, which is not good.
No, it's not like a seal of quality.
Yeah, like we often say, don't listen to the bookkeepers. What we're really saying is, don't listen to us if you are interacting with the bookkeepers, because you will lose money. So.
The whole point of our podcast is that we are 2 Americans who do not have a voting stake in this and will be gloriously, beautifully wrong.
Yeah, well, but I want to be right. Okay.
I mean, yes, like there's a deep part of me that wants to be correct about these things.
Yeah. So, and I mean, again, we are recording this before rehearsals, so these lists could be wildly wrong.
Yeah, we are recording this before I have seen any run-throughs of anything.
Good luck, everybody. I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Euro What. Thank you for listening. The Euro What podcast is hosted by Mike McComb, that's me, and Ben Smith.
That's me. You can follow the Euro What on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcast app of your choice. You can also find us on Patreon, where we are just asking questions about the American Song Contest. That's at patreon.com/EuroWhat.
Show notes and links to our 2022 Eurovision review series are in the description of this episode and on our website at eurowhat.com. If you'd like to contact us, we're at EuroWhat on Twitter and Instagram.
We'll be back on Friday with our reactions to the semifinals and our hopes and dreams for Saturday's grand final.
Good luck, everybody!